What's up, guys? We're gonna roll beats. Today we're gonna be making a Japanese boom bap type beat. If you guys haven't subbed already or turned post notifications on, make sure you do so because it does help a lot. So let's hop right into it. So first things first, I'm gonna show you how to create a scale from scratch so that you can make these type of beats. Okay, but first I'm gonna just show you my plugins. This is what I'm using. Right, we need a Japanese instrument for this, and then we got a choir just for some background. I don't know why it's not playing. Yeah, okay, I should probably turn this up a little bit. Then we got a bass from Trillion, and then we got a bunch of drums. These are free drums. You can just, these are just from a bunch of kits that I have. They're free kits, you can download them. All right, so let's go ahead and make that scale. All right, so now we're going to the piano roll. So now we're going to be making this from scratch. So we're only going to be using 13 of these notes. Why? Don't worry about it. We're just going to do it. So first note is D. That's going to be a little weird. All right, because you're used to looking at stuff like this, right? All right, you're used to looking at scales. It's going to be completely different. So the first one is D, and let me scroll in for you. I wish it would just scroll in automatically. Okay. And then G, A sharp. Those are the first four. So now from there, we're gonna go to D and D sharp. And then what we can do is just copy this back up. Yeah, I know it's looking a little weird. But let's just keep going until we hit the 13th. So from here, we can copy the D sharp, and then the G, the G, and then the A, and that's it. Now, I'll zoom out. I'll provide a link for you in the description. It's a direct download. You can just download it and drag it into your DAW or whatever, or you could just take a screenshot if you don't have FL. All right, so this is the scale for this Japanese style beat that we're about to make. All right, now you can obviously pull this up an octave, but the instrument only has so many strings you can use, so that's why we're only using 13. But yeah, all right, so now we're gonna go ahead and go in here and actually make a melody. All right, so let's go ahead and make this melody. Again, we're using the Koto. All right, now this is extremely limited to 13 notes, so this is gonna be extremely easy to make a beat in or a melody, right? So we just start on a root. All right, and let me actually change this to half a beat. Actually, nah, let's keep it. So my BPM is 165. If you divide that by 2, you can get your halftime, but I think 160, 170 is a really good tempo for this style, to just keep the energy going. So basically how you want to make these melodies is just want to go up and then go back down, literally just like that the whole time. Or you can make a million of these if you want. All right, it's just unlimited of these you can make. So let's go ahead and pour some in here. Let's just go to the next note. Then what I want to do is maybe go. Let's give it a little bit of rest. All right, now I like that. I'm gonna keep that, but what I need to do now is actually extend this, probably even more than this. I want to make a pretty long melody because we only got so many instruments to use, so we want to make the melody a little bit more interesting than just a loop. So actually, let's copy this part and make sure I'm zoomed in so y'all can see the notes I'm using. Let's copy that one over And let's copy the beginning of this. Well, I guess I am kind of using the same notes. Move that up, but let's move this to A maybe. All right, sounds pretty good. Let's see. All right, place. All right, so right here on this part, and this is gonna be the hardest part of the video because it's a lot going on, right? So on this part, we want to create something interesting, right? So we don't want it to just loop back the whole time. So at least have something to kind of bridge the second part together. So grab one of these notes. Maybe let's start on this A and trickle down. So let's see. And we also got to add key switches too, so we can change some of these later. If you don't have key switches, this is fine as well, but. All right, so let's go over here and take this just to make it a little easier on ourselves. I gotta remember to keep this large so y'all can see. Okay, so I like that. That was kind of a lot, but you can see all I'm doing is going up, come back down, all right, and then go back up. And I'm just changing these notes just so it's a little bit more interesting rather than the same note. All right, so let's go ahead and add some key switches so it's a little bit more realistic. All right, so let's go ahead and add these key switches. Now, most of them always start on the same notes like C, C sharp, something like that. So how you can check that, you go to your plugin, go to memory or wherever yours is at, and you can look at the notes, right? And I know what most of these are already because I use this plugin a lot. So that's how you can find them. And let's actually change this grid so that's a little easier to look at when we place them. So you put the regular playing style at the beginning so that when you play a note, so when you replay it, it's not stuck in that mode. So you want to place these so that they pretty much just reset so you have full control. So I'm gonna go ahead and actually use that, and then we can stop it right here because this probably will get annoying. And then we're gonna use this like tremolo thing on, I think it's F sharp, should be on F sharp. And then let's go to here, go back here. And really, you could just copy this. All right, I think that's good enough. So we can just copy it over just for time's sake. I hate doing this. Kind of annoying, trying to stretch this out. All right, so that's the key switches. I'll just play a little bit. Okay, I'll probably just touch it up a little bit so it's not pausing so much. But that's pretty much it for the key switches. And now we're gonna move on to the other instruments. All right, so now we got the hard part out the way. So let's do the choir. And these are just, we can just make simple chords, right? It doesn't need to be that difficult. Start on the root, skip a note, go up, and then just do something like that. Matter of fact, let's use the same note and just change the second note. So let's go down one note, two note, three notes. And then let's complete this chord. Copy it over. It should sound good. Let's hear it. All right, it's pretty decent. I'll turn it down a bit because it is kind of. All right, it's kind of where I want it. Not exactly, but I think that's good. So that's the choir or the chorus. So now let's move on to the bass. All right, so let's go ahead and start the bass. Now this part is very important. Now you could choose to get real funky if you want to, but I'm gonna keep it as simple, you know, just so we can get through it. But you can go in and just go crazy with the bass. But start on the root, right? That's just the easiest way to go about it. Start on our root. And this is super loud. Turn this down. Now with this, what I want to do, I just want to kind of let it play out. You know, some people like to do a lot of notes. I'm gonna just let it play out. And that's my preference. And then maybe we can trickle it down a little bit. Maybe let's see. Oh wait, we're on a D sharp over here. I didn't even realize. And then we can go back here. Let's try that note. Okay, and I think that's pretty good. Control L to stretch out the notes, pull it down an octave. Let's see what it sounds like. All right, could use some touching up so everything's just a lot smoother and it's working a lot better together. But I think this is good for now. So let's move on to the drums. All right, so we got the drums all set up, and I like to do my drums on a separate pattern than the melody, so I have more control. So I might fast forward through like some of these little ones, but I'll do like the main ones so that you get what you need to do. So first thing you need to do is make sure this is at 40%. So it's the main, if you look up here, you can see it. That's my preference, 40%. But if you want to go higher and get a little bit more swing, you can. But I think 40% is a pretty good, I guess, preset to use. So I'm gonna go ahead and just put some drums in. Now, things to note, you want to layer a lot of drums with this style, because if you're wondering why your stuff is not punchy, it may be because you're not layering or your drums aren't heavy enough. So you want to layer some of these. So I'm gonna just probably fast forward through like this boring part. All right, so I just went through and did this real quick. So here we have regular, like this is a normal drum pattern. So and you see how strong the drums are because I'm layering them with multiple sounds. All right, and then I have like this reverse effect to kind of put emphasis on these claps. Oh wait. There we go. Okay, so from here you just add little things. So like maybe we could add this, right? All right, just like that. So I'm gonna go through and do the rest of these real quick. All right, so I just added the velocity, give it some bounce with the hi-hat. All right, so now we have the beat, and let's play everything all together. All right, as simple as that. But that's gonna be it for this video. Make sure you guys like and subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.